Good morning, guys. What we discussed in the last session? Guys, do you remember what we have discussed in the last session? Can anybody tell me what we learned in the last session? Come on.
Just discussed whatever so far happened in the course and also about the Angular concepts, what we have to learn.
Yes, so we have done the revision session yesterday. What are the topics that we have already covered in our course and what is pending? So what is the plan for the remaining topics also we discussed in the last session. Okay. So today we are going to understand another important tool that every developer should know, which is Sonarqube, guys. So what is this Sonarqube tool and what is the purpose of this Sonarqube? Sonarqube tool, it is used for code quality checking. So that means whatever the code that we are writing in the project, in order to review that code, we are going to use this Sonarqube software. Using this Sonarqube, we can perform code review. Code review nothing but checking code quality only. So what are the mistakes that we are doing in the code? What are the best practices that we are not following in the code? All these things can be identified by Sonarqube. Okay, using Sonarqube, we can perform code review, that is also called as code quality checking. This Sonarqube is going to perform static analysis. Static analysis means it will check naming conventions, it will check the best practices, it will check some Java rules and all that stuff. But it will not check whether your logic is correct or not. So whatever the business logic you are writing, Sonarqube will not verify your business logic is correct or not. Sonarqube is going to perform static analysis. That means it is going to check, are you following all the best practices or not? Are you following all the coding standards or not? Is there any chance of getting problem in your code? So those things it is going to identify at a high level, that is called static analysis. Okay, and the main purpose of the Sonarqube, it will identify developers' mistakes in code. Okay, we are writing the code. So at the time of writing the code, there is a chance of doing some mistakes also. Whatever the mistakes done by the developers can be identified by Sonarqube. Right? Sonarqube is used for code quality checking. Using this Sonarqube, we can perform the code review, which is called static analysis, and it will identify developers' mistakes in the code. So how to work with this Sonarqube software, guys? This Sonarqube software is a Java web application. Sonarqube software is developed by using Java language. Initially, Sonarqube supported only for Java projects code review. So when this Sonarqube software came into market, that is used for only review the Java projects source code. But later point of time, they modified that software and currently it is supporting for 30 plus programming languages code review. Actual software is developed by using Java, but in order to perform the code review, so we can use a Sonarqube for 30 type of languages, for .NET, for Python, for PHP, for Node.js, for Angular, for TypeScript, for JavaScript. So for SQL, for so many languages, the Sonarqube is going to support. So initially, this Sonarqube software is developed only to perform the code review for Java projects, but now they extended that support to perform the code review for 30 languages. And remember, if you want to install the Sonarqube software, if you want to set up the Sonarqube software, then you need to have the Java software first, because Sonarqube software is developed by using Java language. And this Sonarqube software is available in two flavors, guys. So Sonarqube software is available in two flavors. One is called Enterprise Edition. It is licensed software. And another one is Community Edition, which is free of cost. One is Enterprise Edition and another one is Community Edition, which is free of cost. Okay, so here, what is the Sonarqube? Sonarqube is used for code quality check. That means it is used for performing the code review. How it will perform the code review? It will not check whether your logic is correct or not. It is going to check the static analysis, whether your code syntaxes are correct or not. Are you following proper coding standards or not? Are you following best practices or not? Is there any problem available in that code? Okay, that thing it is going to identify. That is called static analysis. So it will identify developers' mistakes in the code. Multiple developers will be available in the team. Some freshers will be available. Some experienced people will be available. So when we are writing the code, okay, so there is a chance of doing some mistakes. Best practices some people may not follow. Null pointer exceptions they may not handle properly. So in such kind of scenarios, so the developers are doing the mistakes. Those mistakes will be identified by Sonarqube. So Sonarqube developed by using Java language, guys. It is a Java software. Then initially they supported to perform the code review for only Java projects. But currently it is supporting for 30 plus programming languages to perform the code review. It supports for 30 plus programming languages code review. Okay, how to work with this Sonarqube? There are two flavors available. One is called Enterprise Edition. Another one is Community Edition. Enterprise Edition is nothing but it is a licensed version. Community Edition is a free. Okay, and when you perform the code review by using Sonar, what kind of issues Sonar will identify in our project? So when you set up the code review by using Sonar, what kind of issues that Sonarqube is going to identify? So in our project, Sonarqube will identify bugs. For example, if you have any null pointer exceptions, then Sonarqube is going to identify that. And Sonarqube is going to identify vulnerabilities available in the code. It is going to identify vulnerabilities. Example, some security issues, data leaks, any data leakage happening. The data leaks like exposing the password variable, exposing the password, exposing the pin code, like this. Any security related data, any secure data that you are using in the project directly, then it will consider as a vulnerability. And the next one, Sonarqube is going to identify code smells in the project. What is the meaning of code smells? Code smells nothing but unused imports, unused method parameters, and repeated string literals that you are using in the project. All these things will be identified as a code smell. Unused imports, unused method parameters, etc. comes under code smells in the project. It will identify that. And the next one, it is going to identify duplicate code blocks. So if you are writing the same code again and again in the project, then it comes under duplicate code. It is going to identify duplicated code blocks. How many times the code is repeated? So actually Java is object-oriented programming language. You should not write the duplicate code. So if you are having any duplicate code in the project, Sonarqube is going to identify. And Sonarqube is going to identify project code coverage related to unit testing. Okay, as of now, we don't know what is unit testing, so we are not going to talk about that code coverage. When we go for JUnit, then we will understand what is unit testing and what is code coverage. So when we perform code review by using Sonarqube, so in our project, Sonarqube is going to identify these issues. What are those issues? First one, it will identify bugs. Then it will identify vulnerabilities. Then it will identify code smells. Then it will identify duplicated code blocks. Then it will identify code coverage also. So what is the meaning of a bug? Bug means the problem which is available in our project. Bug means the problem which is available in the project. And the next one, vulnerabilities will be available. Nothing but it is going to identify the security issues in the project. It is going to identify the data leaks available in the project. Then it is going to identify code smells. So you have written some code. In your code, there are some import statements available, but they are unused imports statement. You are not using them. You imported ArrayList class, but you are not using ArrayList class in that logic. So that is unused import. You are taking 3 parameters for the method, but you are using only 2 parameters in the method body. One parameter you are not using. So that is called unused method parameters. Unused import statements will be available. These things comes under code smells in the project. And the next one, if you are writing the repeated code in the project, then that will be coming under duplicate code blocks. That comes under duplicate code blocks. And the next one, code coverage. So for every project in the real time, unit testing will be implemented. So JUnits we are going to implement it to do the testing of the project. How much unit testing we have done, how many lines that are covered in the unit testing, how many lines are not covered in the unit testing, that we can identify by using this code coverage. Okay, so when we go for JUnit, then we are going to understand this code coverage concept. So whenever you perform the code review for any project, Sonarqube will identify these problems available in the code. So these all are the developers' mistakes only. Sonarqube is mainly used to perform the code review. That too, it is going to perform static analysis, not logic checking. It is not going to verify your login method logic is correct or not. So no, it is going to do only static code analysis. Okay, so this software is developed by using Java language, and currently it is supporting for 30 plus programming languages available in the market. Okay, and this Sonarqube is available in 2 flavors. What are those? Enterprise editions. Okay, community edition. Enterprise edition means licensed. Community edition means free. So these are the issues that Sonarqube is going to identify in our project. Now, how we need to do the Sonar server setup to perform the code review? Code is available in my system. So mini project 1, mini project 2, the code is available. How we need to do the Sonar server setup, guys? How we need to do the Sonar server setup? So the Sonar server setup we can do in multiple ways. First one, take one Linux VM in AWS cloud and install Sonar server with Linux commands. That is one approach. So in the real time, Sonar server will be available in the Linux machine only, guys. So take one Linux machine in the AWS cloud and install Sonar server. That is one approach. And the second approach is set up Sonar server as Docker container. Set up Sonar server as Docker container. So you no need to install Sonar server manually. So you can use Docker container in order to run the Sonar. Set up Sonar server as Docker container. And next one, third one. So use Sonar cloud directly. You don't need to install anything. Directly, you can take the Sonar server by using Sonar cloud website also. So we can set up the Sonar server to perform the code review in 3 ways, guys. So what are the 3 ways available? Take one Linux machine in the AWS cloud and install Sonar server for that. If you don't want to do like this, if you don't want to install the Sonar server manually on your own, then simply you can set up Sonar server as a Docker container. You can set up the Sonar server as Docker container. And the third approach, I don't want to do this one also. Directly I want to use the Sonar server. Then you can go for Sonar cloud also. By using this Sonar cloud also, we can perform the code review. So I hope you got the clarity. What is the Sonarqube? Why Sonarqube? And what kind of mistakes Sonarqube will identify in our project? Guys, are you clear? What is the Sonarqube? Why we are using Sonarqube? And what kind of mistakes Sonarqube will identify? And how many ways we can do the Sonar setup? In how many ways we can do the Sonar setup? Are you able to understand my point? Sonarqube is a software that is used to perform code review. It is going to perform static analysis on the code. It will identify developers' mistakes available in the code. And this Sonarqube is developed by using Java language. and Sonarqube is going to support for 30 plus languages in the market. Okay, Sonarqube is available in Enterprise Edition and it is available in the Community Edition also. Available in the Enterprise Edition and available in the Community Edition also. Okay, and what kind of issues that Sonarqube is going to identify? Sonarqube is going to identify bugs available in the project. So like any chance of getting null pointer exception in the code, Sonarqube is going to identify that. And Sonarqube is going to identify the vulnerabilities in the code, some security issues, any data leak that is going to happen in the project. Sonarqube is going to identify. And code smells, it is going to identify. Unused import statements, unused method parameters, it is going to identify. Okay, and it is going to identify duplicate code blocks also. Any repeated code that you are writing in the project, Sonarqube is going to identify. And Sonarqube is going to identify code coverage also that is related to unit testing. Okay, now I have my project in my system. I have my Java project in my system. Now I want to perform the code review for that project. So for that you need to do the Sonar server setup. So how we need to do that Sonar server setup, guys? How we need to do that Sonar server setup? So there are three approaches available in order to perform Sonar server setup. Take one Linux machine in the AWS cloud and install the Sonar server. Set up Sonar server as Docker container. So you take one Linux machine, install Docker. Then in that Docker, you can run Sonar server as a Docker container. If you don't want to do that also, then you can use directly Sonar cloud option. Okay, so here I'm giving one document, guys. Set up Sonar server as a Docker container. So this is my GitHub repository URL. So in this URL, I have given the steps. How can we do the Sonar server setup? How can we do the Sonar server setup by using Docker? So you need to log in into the AWS cloud account. You need to log in into AWS cloud account. You need to create one Linux machine. In that Linux machine, we need to install the Docker software. Okay, so I have given these 6 steps here. If you perform these 6 steps now, then Sonar server will be ready. So set up one Amazon Linux machine in the AWS cloud. Then install Docker software in that Linux machine. This is the command script you need to execute to set up the Docker. Then once the Docker setup is completed, then you are going to use this command in order to run the Sonarqube by using Docker image. So whenever you run this Sonarqube by using Docker image, it is going to run on the port number 9000. Sonar server will run on the port number 9000. So we need to enable that 9000 port number in the security group inbound rules, and we are going to connect with the Sonar server. So with these 5 steps, right, you can set up the Sonar server in one Linux machine. Okay, let me do that setup now. Let me log in into my AWS cloud account and let me set up a Sonar server in order to do the code review of our application. Okay. Now I'm trying to log in into my AWS cloud account. So once we log in into AWS cloud account, there you can see one service called EC2 service here. EC2 service is available. Inside the EC2, you can create the virtual machine. Okay, so the machine that you are taking should be T2 medium, 4 GB RAM. So if you go with the T2 micro, only 1 GB RAM will be available. That is not sufficient, guys. So that's why we need to use minimum 4 GB RAM to set up the Sonar server because it is heavyweight software. Go here, click on launch instance. Click on launch instance. Then I'm going to take the instance name as Sonar server. Okay, Amazon Linux machine I'm taking. T2 micro we have taken earlier because it is free of cost. But with T2 micro, you are going to get only 1 GB memory, guys. That 1 GB memory is not sufficient. 1 GB memory is not sufficient. So that is the reason I'm going for a T2 medium, which is a 4 GB RAM. Bill will be generated, but we will use it for only half an hour to 1 hour. So very less amount, $0.04 per hour. Just for 1 hour practice. So the bill is very negligible. So no need to worry about that. I'm creating one EC2 instance. I'm giving the instance name as Sonar Server, and instance AMI I'm taking as Amazon Linux, and instance type I'm taking as T2 medium, and a key pair to connect with this machine securely. I'm using key pair AWS Lab, which is already available. If you don't have it, then you need to create that key pair. Then network security settings. So existing security group you can connect, allow SSH traffic. So this is the security group which is newly creating. If you already have it, you can select the existing security group. I am having my existing security group. I am connecting to that. Then storage by default 8 GB will come. Okay. Only thing is T2 medium Amazon Linux machine we are using. Click on launch this machine. Yes, machine is launched. Once the machine is launched, then we can connect with this machine by using git bash, or by using putty, or by using MobaXterm. So in multiple ways, you can connect with this Linux machine. So let me connect with this Linux machine by using git bash. So go here, go to the location where your key pair is available. So here I have my key pair, which is AWS lab.pem file. Open git bash. So using git bash, I am going to make one SSH connection. So the Linux machine I have taken in the AWS cloud. From my Windows machine, I want to connect with that Linux machine. So in order to connect with that Linux machine, I'm using this git bash now. So once the machine is ready, the machine will start. The instance state will be running. Once it is in the running state, you connect with this machine. Okay, you execute this chmod 400 PEM file, giving the read permission for the PEM file. PEM file read permission I have given. Then next one, example, this SSH command is available, right? So copy this command and execute this command. So from the location where your key pair is available. Okay, so from the location where the key pairs are available, from that location, I'm going to execute this SSH command. Okay, paste. It is asking for confirmation. Yes, I'm able to confirm. So with this, I'm able to set up my Linux machine and I'm able to connect with that Linux machine. Now in this Linux machine, can you check Docker is available? Docker command is not available. So in this Linux machine, Docker server is not available. Let us install the Docker. How to install the Docker? Just copy this script, guys. Whatever the script is available, just copy this script and execute. Paste and execute. It is going to download and install Docker software in this machine. It is going to download and install Docker software in this machine. Okay. So then it will disconnect from the machine once the Docker is installed. Then we need to again execute SSH command to make a connection. Yes. Again, after the Docker is started, I logged out from the machine. Again, I connected with that machine by using SSH command. So once you connected with this machine, now you verify Docker-v. Docker software is available in our machine. Docker software is available in our machine. So once the Docker software is available, then you need to execute this command to run the Sonar software as a Docker image. Just to copy this command, which is used to run Sonar server as a Docker container. Yes, my Sonar server is getting started. Sonar server will run on the port number 9000. So it is downloading the Docker image for the Sonar server and it is going to run that Docker image. Sonar server will be starting as a Docker image. So finally, Sonar server is started as a Docker image. So enable that port number in the security group inbound rules and access Sonar server. So go to the machine. In this machine, security group is available. We have selected a default security group. So go to security. Security group I have selected. Open this security group. Here inbound rules. Edit the inbound rules. Add the rule. What is the port number? 9000. Sonar server is running on the port number 9000. Anywhere IPv4, I am allowing all the traffic which is coming for 9000 port number on this machine. Save the rule. Yes, with this my port number is enabled. Then how to access that Sonar server? Use this URL, public IP of your machine and port number 9000. So go to the machine, EC2 machine is available, right? Take the public IP of that machine and access that Sonar server. My Sonar server is ready. Take its public IP and go to this public IP colon 9000. Go to the public IP colon 9000. Yes, I'm able to access my Sonar server and it is asking me to log in into the Sonar server. I'm able to access the Sonar server. It is asking me to log in into the Sonar server. So when you go for login, we don't know what is this username and password. First time we are trying to access. Now observe very carefully, guys. Observe very carefully. Just 1 minute, observe very carefully. By default, username for Sonar is admin. By default, password is also admin. The default username for Sonar is admin. The default password also for the Sonar is admin. Click on login. So when I log in first time, what it is telling, guys? When I log in first time, what the Sonarqube is asking?
Change the
Can you
password.
tell me?
Update the password.
Can
Update
you
the
tell
password.
me, when I access my Sonarqube, it is asking me to log in. The default username is admin, default password is admin. I'm able to log in. When I log in, immediately what it is asking? Come on, guys. Immediately what is asking?
Update your
Update
password.
the
To update your password.
It is asking us to update the
Update
password,
our password.
old password. What is the old password? Admin.
Admin.
What is the new password? Some password I am going to give. Some password I am going to give. Okay, I have updated that password. So with this, my password is updated. I'm able to access my Sonar server. Now let me log out. Let me log out and let's log in again. Username is admin. Password I have updated. Okay, if I give the wrong password, it is saying authentication failed. Authentication failed. So if I give valid password, now login. Is it asking me to update the password again?
No, sir.
Guys, is it asking me to update the password again?
No.
When it is asking me to update the password?
For the first time login.
Do you know how to implement that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Where we have implemented that?
In second mini project.
So can we say that is a real-time requirement?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So in the Sonarqube, whenever we log in into the whenever we access the Sonarqube, first time you will log in with the default credentials. What are the default credentials? The default credentials are admin and admin. Admin and admin. Okay. So when you log in with the admin and admin first time, it will ask you to change your password. Only first time it will ask you to update the password. Once password updation got completed, then you will go to the dashboard page of the Sonar. You will go to the dashboard page of the Sonar. So second time when you log in, directly you will come to the dashboard page. That password reset page will not come. So that is the requirement, real-time requirement, which already we have implemented in our second mini project. So in the second mini project, starting several people asked me, sir, why we need to display reset password page only for first login? Why don't you keep it as a forget password? So why we need to check it password updated is not updated? So that is the requirement. That requirement we have implemented several times in the real time. And practically now you are able to see in the Sonarqube also. Sonarqube is a very popular software to perform the code review. It is not only for the Java, it supports 30 plus programming languages. They implemented that requirement. So that from here only I understood what is that requirement. Same thing I have given in the second mini project. And we are able to do that also. When first time user sign up in the application, password updated is no. When they log in, reset password page will come. They will update the password. Then password updated, yes. Second time when they log in, directly they will go for the dashboard page. Are you clear with my point?
Yes, sir.
Are you guys clear with my point? Yes. So with this, we are able to complete our Sonar server setup. So this is the URL that I have given in order to perform the Sonar server setup. So what I have done here is I have taken one Linux machine in the AWS cloud with Amazon Linux AMI, and that machine also I'm using with T2 medium. So T2 medium means it will give you 4 GB RAM. So once we have that machine, we connect to that machine by using Mobile Extram or Putty or GitHub, anything is fine, any SSH client. So I configured one Linux machine in the AWS cloud. Then I connected with that Linux machine. Then after that, installed Docker in that machine. So to install the Docker software in that machine, this is the script I am using. By using that script, I have installed Docker software in that machine. Then I restarted that machine. Then I am able to see Docker is installed or not by using Docker-v. Once the Docker is installed, then we are running Sonarqube as a Docker image. This is the command in order to run the Sonarqube. Once the Sonar server is started, it will run on the port number 9000, enable that port number in the security group inbound rules and access that Sonar server. So we are able to access Sonar server. First time it will ask you the email ID and password. Sorry, username and password. What is the username and password? That is admin. It will ask you to reset the password. So we are able to reset that password. Okay. Now with this our Sonar setup is ready, and this is my Sonar server URL, guys. So this is my Sonar server URL 9000 Sonar server URL is available. Okay. So this is my Sonar server URL. Okay. It is asking me to log in. It is asking me to log in. So the default username is admin. Password I have updated. Asking me to log in. Password I have updated. Currently there are no projects available. Now, in order to perform the code review, how we need to integrate Sonar server with our Java application. So Sonar server setup is ready. My Sonar server is ready. Sonar URL is also ready. Then how to perform the code review? Java application is available in my local system. Whatever the project is there now, that project is available in my local system. Sonar server is available in the Linux machine that is available in the AWS cloud. So this is my Java application, Spring Boot application, guys. Java application which is developed by using Maven. Java application which is developed by using Maven. Now, where is the Sonar server available? So the Sonar server is available in the AWS cloud. So this is my Sonar server. This Sonar server is available in one Linux machine. That Linux machine is available in the AWS cloud. Okay, you got my point. This is my Sonar server, guys. So this is my Sonar server. Okay, this is Sonar server I have taken in one Linux VM. This is Sonar server I have taken in one Linux VM by using Docker container, and this Linux VM is available in the AWS cloud. This Linux VM available in the AWS cloud. And where this Java application is available? This Java application is available in local machine. In my machine, this Java application is available. Okay. So the Java application is available in our local machine, whereas Sonar server is available in the Linux machine. That Linux machine is available in the AWS cloud. It is available in the AWS cloud. Are you guys able to follow me? Now we need to perform the code review. How we need to do this code review now? In order to perform this code review, we need to integrate Sonar server in our application. In order to perform the code review, we need to integrate Sonar server in our application. I think our project is available in STS IDE. Let me open our STS IDE. Our mini projects are available, right? So for both mini projects, we can perform the code review and we can identify what are the mistakes we have done in that projects. What are the developer mistakes are available in that project? We will identify by using code review. Okay, so now I need to integrate Now I need to integrate Sonar server in our Java application. So this Java application, whatever the Java application that we are having, that Java application should communicate with the Sonar server to perform the code review. Then this Sonar server is going to provide code review report. It is going to provide code review report. What are the issues available in the code? It is going to generate the code review report. So how Java application will be connected to this Sonar server? That's where we need to execute one goal called MVN Sonar goal. So in order to perform the code review by using Sonar server, first we need to configure Sonar server details in the pom.xml. Configure, what we need to do? Configure Sonar server in pom.xml file. Configure that Sonar server in the pom.xml file and execute one goal called MVN Sonar. So what is the meaning of this MVN Sonar? When you execute MVN Sonar, then our Java application will connect with that Sonar server to perform the code review, and it will generate that code review report. Okay, so there is a Java application. That Java application is available in our local machine. So our local machine should connect with the Sonar server to perform the code review. So Sonar server will do the review and it will generate the review report. So what will be there in the review report? The review report will contain the issues available in the code. What are the mistakes that we have done in the code? Sonar server will identify those mistakes and will give the review report. So by checking the review report, we can understand what are the mistakes we have done, and we need to resolve those problems, and we should not repeat those mistakes in the coming sessions. Are you able to understand how we are going to integrate Sonar server in our Java application? Are you guys able to understand how we are going to integrate Sonar server in the Java application?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I don't have the Linux or AWS accounts as of now, sir. So I have to create AWS account and then I have to install the MobaTerm and those things, right, sir, for Linux?
You have to create it, sir. I will give some videos today how to create that AWS account and how to set up a Linux machine. I will give some 2 videos I will give you for that.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Because I like to do that, whatever you did just now, sir. Yeah.
Guys, are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you guys able to understand?
Yes, sir.
So how to configure Sonar server in our local machine, guys? How to configure, how to integrate Sonar server with our Java Maven application? What is the process? What is the process? How to integrate Sonar server in our application, guys?
Configure dependency
pom.xml.
Yes, configure Sonar server in the pom.xml. So once we configure Sonar server in the pom.xml, what is the next process? We need to execute one Maven goal. So what is that Maven goal? Sonar goal. So when you execute Sonar goal, our project will connect with the Sonar server and it will do the code review and it will generate the code review report. Configure Sonar server in pom.xml file, then do the code review by using MVN Sonar. So once we do the code review by using Sonar, it will connect with the Sonar server and it will generate the code review report. So using that code review report, we can identify what are the mistakes available and we can fix those problems. Okay, so good. So we understood what is a Sonar server, why we are going for Sonarqube, and what kind of issues Sonarqube can identify, and how to do the Sonar setup also we understood. Okay, good. Sonarqube. What is this Sonarqube? It is used for code quality check. So whatever the code the developers are writing, to review that code, we are going to use this Sonarqube software. So by using Sonarqube, you can perform code review, that also static analysis. Now, it is not going to check your logic is correct or not. So it is used to identify the developer's mistakes in the code. And this is Sonarqube software developed by using Java language, guys, and it will support for 30+ programming languages code review. So initially it supported only Java, but now it is supporting for 30+ programming languages. Initially it supported only Java, now it is supporting for 30+ programming languages. Got my point? Now, so Sonarqube free edition is available for practice, and in the real time community edition will be available for the review purpose. And coming to Sonar issues, what kind of issues Sonar will identify in our project? It will identify bugs available in the project. Bugs, nothing but any exception that can occur. Example, null pointer exception. If you are using any null object directly, there is a chance of getting null pointer exception. So that's why it will identify that as a bug. Then vulnerabilities, any security issues available in the project, any data leaks available in the project, it is going to identify the vulnerabilities also. And the next one, it is going to identify any code smells available in the project. So what is the meaning of code smell? What is the meaning of code smell, guys? Code smell means it is going to identify. Code smell means it is going to identify any unused import statements available in the project. Any unused import statements available in the project. Any unused method parameters available in the project, it is going to identify. And the next one, it is going to identify code blocks also, duplicate code blocks available in the project. And it will identify code coverage. If you do any unit testing, then it will identify code coverage of your application. And the next setup. The setup we can do in 3 ways, guys. So we can set up Sonar server in 3 ways. We can set up Sonar server in 3 ways. So what are those 3 ways? First one, take one Linux machine in the AWS cloud and install Sonar server. That is approach 1. Approach 1. Okay. And approach 2. Approach 2. Set up Sonar server as a Docker container. Approach 3. Directly you can set up the Sonar server in Sonar cloud. So any approach you can use. But in the real time, that Sonar setup will be taken care by DevOps team. Sonar server comes under infrastructure, that will be taken care by DevOps team. Okay. So we can set up Sonar server in 3 ways. Take one Linux machine in the AWS cloud and install Sonar server. Set up Sonar server as a Docker container. Okay. Then approach 3, we are going to use Sonar cloud also. Currently I am using approach 2. This is the document I have shared. In this document, all the steps I have given how to set up the Sonar server. So this is step 1. I have taken one Linux VM in the AWS cloud, Amazon Linux VM with T2 medium instance, and I connected with that machine by using MobiXTRM. Then in that machine, I installed my Docker server. Okay. By using these commands, we can install Docker in that machine. Then after this, I'm executing Sonar as a Docker container by using this command. So Sonar server will run by default with the port number 9000. I enabled that 9000 port number in the security group inbound rules, and I'm able to access that server. Once we access that server, first time it will ask to log in with the default credentials. Default username is admin. Default password is also admin. First time when you log in, it is asking you to reset the password. So once you reset the password, second time onwards, it will not ask you to reset the password. Same functionality we implemented in our second mini project also. And the next one, how to integrate Sonar server with our Java application. Now if you observe, Java application is available in my local machine. Sonar server is available in the Linux machine. That Linux machine is available in the AWS cloud. So how to do the integration? Java project available in my system, Sonar server available in the Linux system. That Linux system is available in the AWS cloud. So how to perform the code review? So to do that, Sonar server URL we need to take public IP comma port number. EC2 machine is available now. This EC2 machine public IP, comma port number which is 9000. So you need to configure that Sonar server details in our project pom.xml. Once you configure Sonar details in the pom.xml, then we need to execute one maven goal sonar:sonar. So when we execute this goal, it will do the code review and it will generate the code review report. In that code review report, we can identify what all the mistakes we have done. Are you able to understand? Are you guys able to understand the integration now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, are you able to understand the integration?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to understand the integration, guys?
Yes, sir.
Good. So in order to do this, we are going to configure Sonar server properties under properties tag in the pom.xml. So how we are going to configure Sonar server URL, Sonar server username, Sonar server password? You can configure like this. So in order to integrate Sonar server with our Java application, in order to configure Sonar server in our Java application, we are going to use this properties tag. Okay, Sonar host URL. This is the public IP and port number, username of your Sonar server, password of the Sonar server you can configure. So once you configure like this, you can execute the build. You can right click on the project, run as a maven build, execute the goal sonar:sonar. So once you configure Sonar details in your project, then you can execute the maven goal sonar:sonar. So once you execute this goal, then it is going to generate the code review report in the Sonar dashboard. It is going to generate the code review report in the Sonar dashboard. In that dashboard, we can verify the results. Are you able to follow this? Are you able to follow this? Configure Sonar properties under properties tag in the pom.xml. So this is how you are going to configure the URL of your Sonar, username of your Sonar, password of your Sonar. So like this you can configure. Once you configure like this, then go to the project and do the maven build. What is the goal you need to execute? The goal that you need to execute is sonar:sonar. After build got success, go to Sonar dashboard and verify the report, Sonar results. What issues it identified in the project, you can check it. Okay, but here there is a problem. We are configuring username and password. That is not recommended. Okay, because if you configure username and password, anybody can see that username and password, they can log in into our Sonar server. Yes or no? Guys, if I configure username and password, what is the problem? If I configure Sonar server username and password, then what is the problem?
Security issues.
Security issue. Anybody can see our username and password because Sonar server URL is available. Sonar server URL is available. Sonar server username is available. Sonar server password is also available. So if you configure this username password URL directly, anybody can see that and they can log in into our Sonar server directly. Anybody can see that and they can log in into Sonar server directly. Security issue. So that is the reason it is not recommended to configure username and password. Instead of that, you can configure Sonar token. Okay, how to generate the Sonar token? Working with the Sonar token. How can we generate a Sonar token? So to generate a Sonar token, so this is the option that you can identify. Go to the Sonar dashboard, then go to your profile in the Sonar, go to Sonar dashboard, go to your profile, my account, security, you can generate a token. Okay, so go here, Sonar, go to Sonar dashboard. So this is my Sonar dashboard. I logged in. My account profile is available here. When you go for my account, here at my account profile, my account, then here there is an option called security option is available. Go to security option. Currently there are no tokens available. You can generate a token. Enter the name for the token. I'm giving the token name as JRTP. Select the token type. So this is a global analysis token or user token. You can select anything. Okay, global analysis token I am generating for 30 days. Okay, limit you can give for that. Click on generate. So with this token is generated. Now you can copy this token. So this is the token that I am going to configure. Instead of username and password, I'm going to configure my token here. So once you configure the token, then you can execute Sonar goal. Sonar goal can be executed. So you can configure like this also. Username and password you can configure. But security issue, people can access your details and they can log in into Sonar server. So instead of that, what we can do? We can generate a token. How to generate the token in the Sonar? Go to your Sonar server, go to your profile, go to my account, then go to security. There you can give the option and you can generate the token. So once it is global token or user token, you can generate. Once the token is generated, you can copy that token and you can use that token in your project. Here, IP address. So I need to give the IP address of the machine, public IP address of the machine. So this is public IP address of the machine in which my Sonar server is running on the port number 9000. Now let me go to our project. Let me configure Sonar. Okay. Let me go with the second mini project now. Go to pom.xml. Second mini project pom.xml file. Let me configure Sonar. Currently Sonar server is not available. Properties tag available with only Java version is available. Properties tag is having only Java version. Now I need to configure Sonar details. So take these two properties, Sonar host.url, sonar.login. Okay, go here, Java version. Now I am configuring Sonar host URL. This is public IP address of our machine and this is the port number. So this URL represents our Sonar server URL. You can check it. You can go to this URL and you can access in the browser. Now we are able to access our Sonar server. Currently, if you see the projects, there are no projects available. Issues also, currently there are no issues available because we have not done any code review. We have not done any code review as of now. We have not done any code review as of now. Now we need to perform the code review by using this Sonarqube. Now we need to perform the code review by using this Sonarqube. Okay, good. So let me configure these properties in the Sonarqube. Sonar URL I configured, Sonar login token I have configured. Instead of token, you can configure username and password also, but that is not recommended. You need to generate a token and you need to configure that token in the pom.xml. Once the token is configured in the pom.xml, then what is the next step? Do the code review. How to do the code review? Right click on this project. Let me do the Maven update first. Do the Maven update. Maven update is done. Then let me execute the Maven goal. So what is the Maven goal that we need to execute? So right click, run as Maven build. So run as Maven build. Goals we need to execute. What is the goal we need to execute? That is Sonar::Sonar. So what is the goal that we need to execute, guys? Sonar::Sonar. So you need to right click on the project. You need to right click on the project and you need to execute that Maven goal. So right click on the project, run as Maven build, execute the goal Sonar::Sonar. Here also, after configuring this one, then copy the token and configure the token in the pom.xml file like below. So in the properties section, we are configuring that. Okay. So if you see in the properties section, I have configured that Sonar token like this. So Java version I'm removing and properties I'm configuring. Okay, so then I'm going to run this project as a Maven build. Once this Sonar token is configured, right click on this, then run as Maven build. Then you execute that goal, that is Sonar:sonar. Click on apply, click on run. So with this, our project code review will happen now. You can check it in the console. The Maven, it is scanning for the project. It is downloading the required dependencies. Yes, Sonar goal is executing. It is communicating with the Sonar server and it is performing the code review of our project. Yes, build got success. That means code review is completed successfully. Go to the Sonar server, refresh. Now you can see the projects. Our user management project is available. Code review completed. Okay, you can see the issues also. What are the issues available? So in our project, there is one bug available, 10 code smells also available, 0 vulnerabilities available. So in our project, there are several Sonar issues available. Okay, one bug is available in our code, vulnerabilities are not there, 4 security hotspots available, and code coverage is 0, duplications on 808 lines, 10% of code, 5 duplicated code blocks available, 10% of duplicate code is available in our project. So the overall code review we are able to identify, and these are the issues which are available in our project. Okay, these are the Sonar issues. Total 11 issues available in our project. One is a bug and 10 are code smells. So total 10 issues available in our project. So this is projects option. If you select 0 to user management app. Similarly, you can do the code review for the first mini project also. Okay, so similarly, you can do the code review for the first mini project also. Let me copy these properties. You are not adding any dependency, guys. Just we are configuring Sonar server details in the properties section. Now let me go to first mini project, counselor portal. Go to the counselor portal. Go to the pom.xml. Go to the counselor portal. Go to the pom.xml. Here, properties section is available only with Java. Now I am configuring Sonar details here also. In the first project also I am configuring my Sonar server URL and Sonar server token. I want to perform the code review for this project also. Now how we will do this code review? Same process. Let us do the Maven update first. Then Maven goal. Maven build with Sonar:sonar goal we are going to execute. Okay. So let me right click on this project, run as Maven build. What is the goal we are going to execute? The goal is Sonar:sonar. Click on apply and run. So for the first mini project also, code review is happening with the Sonar server. It is downloading the required dependencies. It is loading the required plugins. And it is going to perform that code review. Okay, code review completed. Now go to your Sonar dashboard, projects. Now can you see first mini project code review completed, second mini project code review completed. So if you open first mini project code, issues. So total 14 issues available in the first mini project and a total 11 issues available in the second mini project. So these are the mistakes done by the developers. These are the mistakes done by the developers. Now we need to see what all the mistakes we have done and we need to fix those problems. What all the mistakes we have done and we need to fix those problems. Are you guys able to understand how I have performed code review now? Are you guys able to understand how I performed code review now?
Sir, can you show one
Is
other
it
time,
clear?
sir? Can you show one other
Now
time,
we need
sir?
to see what are the mistakes we have done as part of our coding. Now how to fix those mistakes. Code review is completed. There are some issues available in our code. Now, as a developer, we need to see what are those mistakes and we need to fix those mistakes now. So you understood what is the Sonarqube and how to perform the code review by using this Sonarqube. As of now, anybody having any questions?
Sir, how did you execute that one, sir? Can you show another time, sir? You just right clicked and
Sorry.
to execute the Sonarqube, right, sir? How did you do that from the STS, sir? Can you please show one other time, sir?
Simple, sir. Here I have given the steps.
Right, sir. Right click, run as Maven build, execute below goal. Sonar. Okay, sir. Okay. Sonar.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
once you configure that in the properties file, you configure the data in the properties file na sonar details, sonar URL, sonar token. Then right click on the project, run as Maven build. So this is the option. When you right click, run as Maven build, then when you use Maven build, it will ask the goals that you want to execute. So sonar goal we are going to execute. Then it will do the code review. Once the code review is completed, then you can go to sonar dashboard and you can identify how many projects code review completed and total how many issues are available. So by combining both mini projects, total there are 25 issues available. In both mini projects, there are total 25 issues available. If you want to see the issues related to particular project, counselor portal, in the counselor portal, there are 14 issues available, and in the user management portal, there are total 11 issues available. So by combining two projects, there are total 25 mistakes we have done. These are the issues identified by Sonarqube. Developer mistakes identified by the Sonarqube guys. So Sonarqube is a software that is used to perform code review. It is used to check the code quality. It is used to identify developer mistakes, and it is developed by using Java language, and it is going to support 30 plus programming languages. You can use community edition or you can use enterprise edition. Currently we are using community edition. What kind of issues it is going to identify? It is going to identify bugs available in the project. It is going to identify vulnerabilities available in the project. It is going to identify code smells available in the project. It is going to identify code smells available in the project. It is going to identify duplicate code blocks available in the project. Duplicate code blocks available in the project, and it is going to identify code coverage also, and it is going to identify code coverage. That means unit testing coverage it is going to identify. Sonar server setup. How we will do this Sonar server setup? These are the steps, 3 approaches available to do the Sonar server setup. How to integrate Sonar server with our application? You can read the process here.
Hello, sir. In the real time, credential will be provided by DevOps team or how?
Sorry?
In the real time, that Sonar.
In the real time?
Sonar credential will provided by DevOps team or how? Credential. That login ID and password.
Sorry, sir, I did not understand your question. Can you please repeat?
Actually, in real time,
Sorry, can you come again? Can you speak a bit louder?
Sir, in real time project, that credential who will provide?
Sir, in the real time process is going to be different, sir. I will tell you how it will happen in the real time.
Okay, sir. Okay, got it.
In the real time, the process is going to be different. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to understand the Sonar server integration?
Yes, sir.
With the Java application and how we performed code review? Now, let me go to second project first and let me identify what are the mistakes available here. One bug available. First, let me identify issues. Project by project, we can identify the issues. So go to the projects here. 01 user management application is available. In this project, what are the issues available? In this application, what are the issues available? First, bug. So in the user service impl.java, there is a bug in the line number 160. So in which class, in which line number, what is the problem? It is going to identify. So if you go to the second project, now total there are 11 issues available. In that 11, one is bug and 10 are code smells. Now go to here, go to the second project now. Go to the second project. So in the second project, what are the mistakes are available? Let's identify. Service IMPL, user service IMPL, line number 160, they are saying that there is a problem. Go to the bug first. In that bug, so line number 160, there is a problem. Go to line number 160. What is that? Random class object I have created. So what the Sonar is telling is, save and reuse this random. Boss, you are creating the random inside the Java method. But always when you are using random class now, you need to create the object outside of the class. You need to create the object from outside of the class. So for that, let us use random object. Let us use this random object outside of the class. Don't create the random object inside the method. You need to use random outside of the methods. At the class level, you need to create the random object so that multiple methods can reuse the random. That is one problem we identified. Okay, I fixed that problem. Now let me do the review again and let us see, is it removing that problem or not? Maven build Sonar::Sonar. Click on apply, click on run. Click on apply and click on run. Build got success. Now go here. Let us review second project, guys. Earlier, one bug available, 10 code smells available. Now can you see bugs became 0? Can you see bug became 0 now? So that means, are we able to fix the problem or not? We are able to fix one problem. Now let's go to code smells. So what are the code smells available? In user controller.java, in line number 47, there is a code smell available. In user controller.java, line number 47, there is a problem. Okay, go to line number 47 in the user controller. In user controller, there is a problem in the line number 47. What is that line number 47? System.out.println. So we should not write the system.out.println in the code. So why we should not write the system.out.println? It is going to print the data on the console. In the real time, we should not do like this. Remove it. Okay. SOP statement should not be available in the code. If you want to print something, you need to use only logger statements. You should not use the system.out.println. So that is one problem. I have removed it. The next one, here, immediately return the expression instead of